this is the Tents and Trees demo for the Nintendo Switch. I'm currently playing it offline. I downloaded it a few months ago, and I'll do a quickie on this one. I'm trying to sample all the demos that I downloaded several months ago. I think I actually downloaded this on the subway. It's one of the smaller demos, but it's nice to be able to play something that doesn't require an internet connection, because you might be on the subway system and download a demo, but if you're at a station, you can download a demo here in the DC metropolitan area. But once the train goes underground, it starts moving and it goes underground, you can't get the signal anymore. So this might be an example. This game is basically Sudoku. So when I go through the tutorial, that will be explained. Trees are placed on a grid. You have to place one tent next to each tree. The other cells must have grass. Numbers around the grid take the number of tents in the corresponding row or column. Again, like in Sudoku. Or Picross. It's probably another example. Each tent must be in each of the 4 adjacent cells next to its associated tree, horizontally or vertically, but not diagonally. Tents cannot touch each other, not even diagonally. We'll play the tutorial. There's one tent next to each tree. The other cells must have grass. Okay. You have to place one tent next to each tree. Okay. Numbers around the grid tell the number of tents in the corresponding row or column. Again, like Picross. Each tent must be one of the 4 adjacent cells. They can't be diagonal. Tents cannot touch each other, not even diagonally. Okay. So let's do this one together. Number for the second column and third column are 0, so there are no tents in those blinking cells. So press B on each of these grasses to set grass. We can set grass. We're not gonna touch grass. We're gonna set grass because can't be any tents here. Good. Now you can see that the only blinking cell is the only available for the tree to the left. Tree to its left. Oh, for this tree, okay. Press A on the blinking cell. So the tent has to go there. Now set grass around this tent because tents can't touch each other, okay. Okay, that's cool. Let's complete the level. We don't need to cheat. We know what we're doing. Okay, so we're going to use logic. Facts and logic. So there are 2... Wait, did I accidentally pressed a button? Oh, I undid it. I guess I shouldn't have done that. So I pressed the L2 button, the ZL button to undo what I did. I should not have done that. Okay, so that's what the L and R buttons do at the top right-hand corner of the screen. Okay, so remove the grass. Okay, so we have 2 tents in this column. We also have 2 tents in this row, so it has to go here. Okay, so the one tent in the far right column is already placed. There has to be a tent in this column, so it's going there. There's only one tent in this row, so we can block off the rest. There's already one tent in this column, so we can green that out. And there has to be one tent in this row, so we put it right there. Which means the last tent has to go here. Done. Each tree is only associated with exactly one tent. Okay. No hints needed. So now you know how to play this game, I guess. We're not paying attention to the time. We'll do a speed run later. Normally, I would do a speed run without having to explain myself. So I guess we could speed run that at the end of the video. So next, classic packs. Again, this is all the offline content, so I can do this challenge again. Can I erase these? Well, I probably can't, because I'm not going to do that here. Okay, so there's 0 here, so we can green those out. 0 here, so we can green those out. Let's see. 1 tent in the last column, and it has to be next to a tree. Place it there. There's a second tent in this. We can also green this area around the tent, because tents aren't allowed to touch diagonally. There's a second tent in this row, so you gotta place it here, green the rest, because tents can't touch. There was 1 tent. I already did this. That was the tutorial. So I guess I'm just speed running through it. You get the idea. Already did this one. Since we already did that one, that was the tutorial, we can do this one now. Okay, 1/10. Okay, well we have 0 here, so let's green out the row. 0 here, we can green this out. So there has to be a 10 in this column, so it's going here. We'll green the rest out. That row is clean. 1 in this column, 2. 1 in this column, so it has to be here. 1 in this column. And there's no trees anywhere here. Remember, the 10 has to be next to a tree, so the 10's got to go here. Green the rest out. 1/10 in this column, so it has to go here. Here's a second 10 in this row, has to go there. Done. We can do that faster if we have to. We'll do that later. If you don't want to waste time using green, you can do that. Let's see. 0 in this column. Hold down the B button to green the entire column and the entire row. 0 in this row. Let's see. 2 in this row, so they have to be here. 1 in this column, green the rest. 2 in this column, so it has to be here. Let's see. 2. Well, the 10s can't touch. The second 10 in this row has to be here. 1 in this column, green it out, so the 1 has to be here. Last column remaining. Last square remaining, he had to put a 10 there. Based on the fact that there was 1 10 in that column and row. So it had to be there. Process of elimination. 0 in this column, 0 in this row, 0 in this row, 0 in this column. So what's left? 3/10 in this row, mark them all off. 1 in that column, green it out. 2 in this column, there has to be near a 10th, and it can't be diagonal. 1/10 has to be in this row. Done. So you didn't need to have to waste time greening out the area once the last tent was placed. Again, like I said, it's just it's Picross. So we can also do some other easy ones. We already did that one. Hold on. Not available in the demo. Okay, so let's go to the 6x6s then. Okay, 0 in this column, 0 here. Let's see, 1 in this column, and it has to be near a tree. We'll get to that later. 2 in this row, so they have to be here. 2 in this column, but they can't touch. So green out the area around the tents, because the tents can't touch. 1, we'll get to that. 2. I want to say it has to be here, because each tent only has 1 tree. Each tree only has 1 tent. We'll get to that. 1, 2, could be another one. 1, we'll get to that. 1. Those are zeros available, huh? There has to be 1 in this row, so it has to go here. So there are 2 here. 1 in this row. Wait, can't touch diagonally. So the tent can't be here because that's diagonal from this tent. So all squares around the tent have to be green or have a tree on it. 1 in this row, so it has to be here. So everything else in this row is greened out. Okay, 1. Green out that area around that tent too, so it's got to be here. Green out the rest. 1 in this row has to be here. Green out the rest, so that means that's there. So again, tents can't touch. So you have to green out all the areas around the tent. 0 in this column, and this row, and this row. Let's see, we got 1, 2 here, we'll get to that, 2 here. But there's no tree here, so that's grayed out. So the 2 tents have to be here. Remember, the tents have to be near a tree. So That was that process of elimination. 1, we'll get to that. 2, well, there's no tree here, so the tent can't be here. So the second one in this column has to be here, green the rest out, and the one tree in this column has to be here. Green around the tents, good, we're clean. Let's see. Yeah, can't be a tent here. First of all, there's only one in this column, and tents have to be adjacent to a tree. They can't be in a diagonal location to a tree. They have to be above it, or they have to be above it, below it, to the left or right. They have to be one of the cardinal directions, if you will. Let's see, 2, we'll get to that. 2, so they have to be here. They have to be in this row. Green the rest out. 2 here, we'll get to that. 1 in this column, green that out. So the second one here. Second one in that row is right there. Done. Again, we shouldn't be speeding through this, so I'm just showing you my logic. I'll slow down a bit. 0 in this column. 0 in this row. 0 in this row. All right. No trees here, so green those out. There's got to be 1. So it's got to be here. It's the only place where it's the only place in this row where a tree is located, and this is zeroed out. So no green. So all green around the tent. All green around the tent. Can't be here because there are no trees. Can't be here. Let's green out this row. Green out this column because it's already a 10 here. Okay, 2. We have 3, so they have to be 1, 2, 3. All the areas around it are green. Let's see, 1 in this column, done. 1's got to be in this row, done. So the 2 are done. The 1 in this column has to be here, and the second one in this row has to be here. Process of elimination. Okay, 0 out this column, and this row, and this column, and 0 in this column. 1 has to be near a tree, so it's right here. Green out the rest of the row. 1 has to be near a tree, which is here. Green out the row. The one in this column has to be next to a tree. Green out the row. We'll green out the area around the tent. 1 in this row is already taken. 3, so the other 2 in this column have to be here and here, because there's 1 on the bottom of this row. Second one in this row has to be here, and the second one in this row has to be here. Done. We play puzzle games on this channel. 0 in this column, 0 in that row, and this column, and this row. 2 in this column have to be next to trees, so green the rest. We'll get to that later. 2, second one has to be near a tree, so it can't be here. It has to be next to a tree. 3, well, they can't touch, so the 2 other tents can't touch, which means they have to be here. 1 can be here. 3, 1 in this column, green it out. 2 in this column, second one has to be here. Green out the rest of the area surrounding the tent. 2 here, they must be in these 2 spaces. Done. Remember, each tree has 1 tent next to it. A tree can be next to multiple trees, but each tree has 1 tent adjacent to it. So that's done. So that's all we're allowed to see in the demo, huh? No, wait, there's more content. So let's finish this up before we finish up the video. This might be all the content we're allowed to see. 0 out the column and the row. Okay, now we get fancy. 1. The one tent in this row can't be here because there are no trees. Same here. Okay. The 2 tents in this column could be here. The 2 tents in this column, 2 tents in this row can't be here because there are no trees next to it. Okay, so the 2 tents have to be here and here. Green out the rest of the area surrounding the tents. Let's see. We'll get to that. 1 tent in this row must be here. It's the only space remaining. 2 in this column. We'll get to that. 1. Yeah, if there are no trees nearby, just green out the entire area like this. No trees nearby, so no tents can go here. Or here. Okay, so we'll get to that. So I think we've taken care of all the other green areas. I think we've grassed up the entire area. 1 could be here. Just a second. 2, 1, 2. So the 1 tent in this column has to be here or here. Well, there are 2 tents in this column, in this row. Top row has 2 tents. Green the rest of the areas. 2 tents in this column, so it has to be here. Green the rest of the area, we're good. Let's see. 2 tents. 2 tents here. There has to be 1 tent here, we'll get to that. 2, 1. Yeah. 1 tent in this column, green the rest. Second tent in this row has to be here. Has to be over here or on the left side. We're getting there, we're getting there. Did we green up all the tents? We greened out the treeless areas, so I think we're good. Oh, the numbers on the top of the screen and on the left side are brown if they're still active. So there's a tent we still have to place. Second tent could be here. 1 tent could be here. Second tent's here. Okay, so probably got to use the process of elimination here. Okay, so the second tent. Remember, each tree gets 1 tent. So this is the tent for this tree. Okay, so this tent. So where could this tree's tent be? So this tree's tent has to be here because there's no other place the tent can go. So it must be here. So we'll green out the other areas. So this tree has this tent, this tree has this tent, this tree needs a tent. Every tree needs a tent. This tree already has a tent. Cancel that. All right, so second tent in this column, in this row, has to be here. Done. Remember, every tree needs a tent. So that was the third level of elimination that I used. I always look for the green areas. In the rows with no tents are greened out first. Then we green out the areas around tents. And then we start greening out the areas where there are no trees nearby. So that eliminates most of the board. No empty rows here, okay? No empty rows or columns, so it's gonna be tougher than usual. Green out the treeless areas, like these. Tents can't go here because there are no trees nearby. Remember, the tents have to be above, below, to the left or right. So green out all the treeless areas. Any more like that. So we're eliminating a lot of the board just doing this. Yeah. So that means all the treeless areas have been greened out. Let's see. 3 in this row. 1 in this row. Any obvious ones? There is 1 in this row, but it can't be here. It could still be any one of these, okay? So we can't jump the gun, but we're greening out some areas, so that's good. No tree. No, we already did that. So I think we've greened up all the areas we can. So there could be a tree here or here. 2 in this column. 1 in this column. So, what's the emptiest area on the board? There are none. Guess this makes things a bit harder, doesn't it? All right. So I need a place with a few black squares and few trees, like this one. 2 in this column. one in this column. It could be anywhere. One in this column. It could be in multiple places. Two in this column, so it could be here. So, okay, so which square has no tree in it? Well, there might be like if I can find a couple of trees in a row or a column with only two, that might help. How about that? Two. So 3 blacks for 2 Trents in this column. In this row, we have 1/10 for 2 blacks. One for 3, 2 for 4 possible locations. So we're really gonna have to narrow it down. Oh, by the way, this is green. There are no trees nearby. So so it has to go either here or here. Let's make sure we green out all the areas around the trees. Okay, I think we already did that. Okay, so we're fine. So where's the tree in this row right up top? I think I just need to locate one more green area, I think. Because I have too many options here to pick one. Remember, each tree only gets 1/10. So is there an isolated area like this? No. Is there an isolated tree? Yeah, there's a trick. There's a trick to the tree layout, actually. There is a trick to the tree layout. We got 10 more minutes. All right. Is there a tree that only has 2 possible placements? Yeah, like this one here. Okay, this tree needs at least 1/10 above or below it. Because it can't be to the left or right. So we need a tree here or here. Or this one right here. But there's another tree near it. Yeah, this might be the tree we want. Yeah, this one might be the one we want. So there has to be a tree here or here. And if the tree... Okay, here's the thing. This tree, this tent, the tree for this tent cannot be in this column. Because this tree needs a tent. So that means this tree's tent must be here. Because it can't be above or below it, because that takes away the tree that takes away the tent that this tree needs. Okay. So confirm that, green out the area around the tree. 2 in this column. Here and here. Green out the rest of the areas. Remember, a tent can be between 2 trees, but each tree only gets 1/10. We found the tent for this tree. So it means the tent for this tree needs to be above or below it. Haven't eliminated that yet. So this tree has a tent, this tree has a tent, this tree's tent could be above it or below it. Let's not jump the gun yet. 2 here. We need a second tent in this column, right there. Green the rest out. Okay, we greened up green out all the areas around the tree. There's only 1 tent in this column, it's gotta be here. 2 tents in this row, green it out. The 1 tent in this row has to be here. Let's see, so we've greened out the area on the bottom here. Okay. Just so you know, this tree, this tent is for this tree. This tent is for this tree. This tent is for this tree. So we need a tent here. Slow down, we'll get to that. 3 tents in this row. 1, 2, 3. Green out the rest of the areas around it. Let's see. Tree, tent, tent. Okay, so these 2 trees all have tents, so we can get rid of that one. Okay, 1 tree in this column. Green out that. 2 trees in this column, or 1 tree in this row. Done. We did it. You saw what started that was the far left side when I realized one of those trees could not have a tent on that first column. So once I figured that out, that opened up the rest of the board. Okay, 0 in this column. Green it out. Green out the empty areas. Yeah, the treeless areas need to be greened out. All the diagonals as well. Okay, so that's most of the area. Yeah, this area too. Yeah, that's good. Let's see, 3, no 1. Yeah, green out these areas. There are no trees near it. There are no trees next to it. Here we gotta do the cross. No diagonals, only crosses. So what can we definitely do? 1 in this row. Tree must be here or here. Yeah, look at adjacent trees like this. This might help. 1 tree in this row. Also at the side of the board, the edge of the board, it would help too. Because there aren't a lot of places to put trees here. 1. Tree can't be there. So 3 blacks for 2 tents. What, green out any areas here? No. Okay. This tree needs a tent. It has to be here or here. This tree needs a tent. It has to be here or here. Okay. Here's the thing. This tree's tent has to be in this column, which means the tent in this column must be down here in one of these 2 black spaces, which means the tree can't be here and it can't be here, because this tree must have a tent and it must be in this column. So it has to be right next to it, so you have to green out this area. So this helps. Tree has to be here or here. Can the tree be here? Sorry, can the tent be here? Above and below it and down there. Okay, we'll get to that later. There could be a trend here, but we'll get to that later. So we need to know where this tree's tent is. Same logic here. 3 tents here. 3 tents in this column. How about this? No. 1 tent must be here. No other place to put this tree's tent. So green out the area next to it, green out the area around it, and green out the row. That gives us more options. 2 tents in this row. Done. Green out the areas around it. Let's see what else we got. Must have a tent here. Must have a tent next to this tree. It goes here. Let's see. I think we greened up the top of the screen. 1 tent in this row. We'll get to that. 3. So those rows are clean. 3, 2. We don't know what the second one is. 1 in this row. Green it out. 1 in this row. So 1 in this column is done. I will green that out. No. Let's see. We're getting close, though. I know we're getting close. So we need a tent here. This tree needs a tent, but it could be in several places. Just a second. There has to be a tent in this column. 1 of these has to be filled. 1, 3. So one of these two has to be filled. One of these. Again, we don't know which tent gets filled. Okay. Is there a tree that needs a tent? And there are no options. There's no alternative. There have to be 2 here. Okay, here's the thing. The tents can't be adjacent to each other. So that means one of the tents has to be here. And that's for this tree. So green out all the other areas. Okay. 1 tent in this column. And that means the second tent has to be here. Green out the area around it. This tree requires a tent. Let's see, tree, 1 in this column, 2 in this row. 10 has to be here. So 1 in this row, done. That's the one. We did it, fam. How many more we got left? Back out. We already did this. So we got 2 more. 25 levels to unlock. They're probably locked because this is the demo. Alright. These are easy? Wait, I thought I already did this one. This is the one we're gonna do, okay. Come back in a sec. Okay. As we were, we're gonna finish up this demo. This is all the content that's available in the demo, in case you're wondering. 0 in this column. So that's good. Oh, by the way, there's a trick here. When you place a tent, you have the option of connecting a tent to a tree. So I guess I'll show you that before I end the video. Remember, take out all the green area, take out all the treeless areas. So if there are no trees, if there are no trees in a cross pattern if there's no trees anywhere, you can just green out those areas. And of course, all the diagonal spaces should be greened out. So every diagonal space, every place that's diagonal to a tree with no other tree near it can be grayed out. That's most of it, yeah, like this. So we got, that should be all the green areas. Okay, 1 in this row. So again, now this tree could be here. It could be here. See if there's an isolated tree around here. Because we need 1 tree in this, we need 1 tent in this row. So it's either here or here. Can't be a tree here, so let's green out that area. This tent must be, or can be maybe 3 of these areas. This tent needs to be either here or here in this row. So that means this one has to be either here or above it. There are 2 in that row. 2 tents for 4 blacks, 1 tent for 2 blacks. So I'm trying to see, like, this one has 2 tents for 3 blacks in this column. I want to see if I can cancel a few things out. I think these trees on the side here, or near the edge of the screen, are probably going to be most useful. Like this tent has to be either here or here. And at least that's one where I can just eliminate that. 2 tents for 3 blacks on the bottom row. This tent has to be either here or here. Could be both of those. This tent has to be either up here or down here. This tree's tent has to be either here or here. So I figure this would help because this tree's tent has to be here or here, but this tree's tent has to be... Yeah, the idea is that you can't have a tent here, can you? Well, you could. You could. Yeah, we're going to have to go through some more We do a 2. 2 for 3. 2 for 3 blacks. 1 for 3 blacks. 1 for 2 blacks. 1 for 3 blacks. Do I ever do it? No tree here. So yeah, let's eliminate some more options here. Let's green out some more areas. We got one more level after this. We'll be able to fill it. We'll be able to get all the demo's content in about an hour. Any double blacks, like any back-to-back blacks, basically. Yeah, this one has to be here or here, but I don't want to jump the gun and guess. 2. Remember, also tents can't be adjacent, just so you know. So the 2 tents has to be out in one of these. So this, okay, here's the thing. 2 tents in this row, which means this has to be one of them, because the 2 tents can't be next to each other. So that means the tent has to be here. 1 tent, 2 tents in this row. Okay, so green out the areas around the tent. Confirmed. So this tent has to belong to this tree because this tree needs a tent. So we can link the tree to a tent with the A button. See, we just did it. So that means the other tent has to be here. Done. So that means these 2 are greened out. So that entire column's ready. So we have so that entire column's greened out. 2 tents here, no matter what. Done. Okay, so that means that tent, well, this tent has to be up here. The L button. A, L. Okay, so we have to actually select the one we want. So that tent has to be here. Whoops. Okay. So that means, yeah, this tent has to be here, no choice. And there's a second tent in this row. So that's done. Green out the other areas. So that's done. Now we need a tent. We need 2 tents here. We need 1 tent in this row, so it's got to be here. So we can green out the rest. 2 tents in this row, got to be here. 2 tents in this column, got to be here. 1 tent in this row has to be here. Done. An advanced player. Yeah, so I guess the way, if you have a tent, you can link it to a tree manually. If there's only one tent, if there's only one tree, let me put it this way. If you press the A button on a tree, there's only 1 tent nearby, done. But if there's a tent between 2 trees, you have to hold down the A button and use the left stick to choose the tree that it's linked to. Sometimes it's obvious. Okay, no zeros here. This might be the last row, right? This is the last puzzle, I believe. Remember, green out all the treeless areas, like this one, and of course all the squares that are diagonally between trees. Yeah, so that's good. I think we got most of them. That one. Okay, so that narrows things down a lot. 2, 1. Remember, trees near the edges of the screen are good. So this tree, the tree in this row, well, it could be anywhere. Okay, we'll hold on to that for a second. That's treeless. There's a lot of, yeah, we'll avoid that area for a while. Give me a second. 2 here, so it could be here, here. Oh yeah, remember, eliminate adjacent black squares if needed. Like there are 2 trees. Yeah, if you have two tents with 3 black squares in a line, it means they can't be adjacent. So keep that in mind. Look for adjacent blacks if there are only 2 trees for 3 black squares. Okay, not an option here. So the two tents can be here, here, or here. This place is really wet. This is really wet. Tent could be here or here. In this row. 2. Okay, could be anywhere, so we want to jump the gun. 1 in this column. 2 in this column. Okay, here's an example. 2 in this column, but there are 2 squares back to back. 2 back-to-back blacks, which means there must be a tent down here. That has to be one of the 2 tents in this column. Green out the areas around the tent. One tent in this row. We'll get to that. 2 tents in this row. We'll get to that. 2 tents in this row. So the second tent has to be one of these. So this tree's tent, or this tree's tent. So there has to be a tent here or here. We don't know which tent's being claimed. So if the tent is here, then that means, if the tent is here, that means this tree below it needs the tent here. If that's true. It's also possible the tent could be here, right? Is that possible? Yeah, that is possible. So we don't want to jump the gun here. We'll get to that. It might still be possible, so I don't want to eliminate that possibility. One tent in this column, no matter what, so it's got to be here. Second tent, we don't know who owns that tent. We'll get to that. We don't know who owns this tent. Let's try a couple of things. There's another tent in this column up top. But that was a guaranteed placement because there weren't any other places to put that one. One in here, so it could be here or here. So if there's a tent here, then the tree to the right needs to be here. Needs a tent here. Let's not jump the gun. We'll get to that. This tree's tent could be here. So we don't know whose tent this is, do we? Let's do some elimination. Second tent could be over there. Second tent could be up there. 2 tents here. Second tent could be anywhere there. We don't have that many tents, so I gotta green out the area. Always green out the area around the tent, so that helps. 1 tent can be here or there. 2 tents have to be in this column. 2 tents in this column have to be here. Green out the areas surrounding them. That clears things up a lot. The 1 tent in the final column. And the final row has to be here. So green out the areas around it. Let's see. Okay, so let's link this one. So that tent's linked. That tent's linked. So we're confirming. They were claiming these tents. So we know they're claimed. Yeah, this tent has to be here. So that means this tree's tent has to be here. So that row is accounted for. Green out the areas surrounding it. 1 tent on this column. So that means this tree's tent must be here. Second tent for this row is here. That belongs to this dude. So 1 tent in this column must be here. Linked. So green that out. Second, we'll get to that. No tree here. Yeah, no tent here. Second tent must be... Oh, I think I screwed that up. There's only 1 tent in this column. We're good. So 1 tent here. 2 tents. Second tent must be here. Done. So that's all the content that's available on this demo. You need to clear out 25 levels to open up the next tier, apparently. Yeah, the tier of hard levels. But these were all basically easy. Okay, so that's all the levels that are available. So we can do a speed run to fill up some time. But yeah, that's pretty much the entire content. Missing numbers, haha. Let's have a little fun. Let's see if we can do a speed run. Wait, clear that out. Back up. Restart level. Yeah, I kind of want to not cheat. Give me a second. Back to menu. Can I reset all these like the easy way? I'll tell you what. Let's see what our options are. I kind of just want to do everything. I mean, I can. So is there a way to reset all the content? Yeah, I've been playing this game for 2 hours somehow. Well, that includes all the time I spent playing this game without commentary. So 5 of each level. Here's what I'll do. I'll clean them all out. But I don't want to see the answers. See, if there were a way to clean all these out, I wouldn't have this problem. So if I can get all these done in less than 2 minutes, that might be interesting. Well, I think I restarted everything. Okay, so I restarted everything. Okay, so that's fine. Yeah, some of these harder levels I do want to redo, so I guess we'll fill some time by doing that. So that's easy. So can these be restarted? Okay, we're good. So we restarted everything. That's good. All right. So we'll do a speed run. Let's see how we do. We'll do them as quickly as possible. How easy are we talking? 2. Gotta be 2. One's gotta be here. One's gotta be here. Well, that's certainly a speed run. That was technically the tutorial level. Pretty sure I said next. 18 seconds. We can't really beat 18 seconds, can we? 2 here and here. 1 here. 1 here. Done. I already confirmed that. I think I lost a second on that one. 0 down, 0 across, 0 up. So that tent's there, that tent's there, and there. Second tent's there. First tent's here. No, wait, wrong. Do I lose? Do I get a time penalty for putting a tent in the wrong place? Probably could be done. 0 down, across. Okay, 1 in this row. Gotta be here. 2 in this row, gotta be here. 2 in this row, gotta be here and here. Pretty easy, huh? I'm pretty sure I can get all these done in less than 30 seconds, if I haven't already. We can get this under 25. Of course, using the grass probably doesn't help. 2 here, 3 here, 2. That did it. 17 seconds. I'll take that. So that's easy. So we're gonna speed run all of these. We'll get all these done in less than a minute if I can help it. So let's try it. Okay, 1. We'll figure that out. 1 needs to be here. 1 has to be here. Green it out. 1 has to be here. Green it out. 2, we'll get to that. 1 there and there. 2. 1 is here. So that means the second one's here. And here. Done. So we get it in less than a minute. There are quick ways to do it. I don't have time to explain it. To get the green as quickly as possible. That opens up the rest of the board. Good there. 1 across. 2, gotta be here. Green out the area around it. 2. So they can't be next to each other. 1 there. 2 here and here. Done. Almost 30 seconds on that one. 1, we'll get to that. 3, gotta be one here and here. I don't know where the third one is though. 1 is clear. Gotta do the treeless areas too, I guess. 2, gotta be, nah, it could be somewhere else. We'll get to that. 2, we'll get to that. Treeless, treeless, treeless. 1 has to go here. Linked. 1. 3 has to be here. 2, wait, we'll get to that. 1 has to be there. Second one has to be here then. So that's green, and that's the 1. 30 seconds? We did it in under a minute. Yeah, under a minute for all these. So we can get this under 40. Yeah, 2, gotta be here. Green out the rest. That's gotta be here. Link it, link it, link it. 2, those are treeless. 1, clean. 1 gotta be here or here. 2 gotta be here. 3 gotta be here. Link it. 1's gotta be. Yeah, that did it. 40 seconds? Yep. Under 40 seconds. Get this one under 40 if we can. Treeless areas. 2 gotta be here and here. 3 done. Green out the areas around the trees or around the tents. 2 gotta be here and somewhere else. Link it. Need a tree there and a tree there, or a tent there. Tent's gotta be here or here. It means it's here. Because the other tree's already claimed a tent. 35. I guess we gotta get this one under 50. We should be able to get it under 50. 3, 1, 2, guaranteed. 1 up there. Treeless. 1, wait for that. Treeless, good. 2, we'll get to that later. No greens, that's treeless. 2, we'll get the second one. 1, we'll get to that. 1. Gotta be here. No, there. And green the area below it. 1's gotta be there. 2, greened, gotta be there. Second one's gotta be there. How long was that? I gotta get this one under 50. I won't worry about it later. Something always mucks me up on that one. The others are easy. One more speed run, let's go. This is all the demo. We're kind of faffing about, trying to figure out our logic. We have lots of green, we have lots of treeless areas to clear out. Yeah, so that part's easy. Doing the treeless areas. No. 1 could be okay. We have to figure that out. Yeah, okay. This is where things get tricky, huh? That's treeless. The treeless areas are clear, so 1's got to be here or here. 1, okay. So we're gonna have to start using some double blacks, some back-to-back blacks to figure it out. Like the 1 right here. Well, it could be anywhere. 1. The 1 in this row has to be here or here. Can't be there. 2. This has to be one of them. So it's one of these. 2. Second one has to be here. Green it out. That's got to be the other one. Green it out. We're good. 2. Second one's up there. 2. Clear. 2. Need a second one up there. 1, 2. cleared out some of this already. 2, the second one has to be here somewhere. This one has to be here or here, but there are 2 in this top row. 1, clean, green out the tenths. Second one has to be here, green out the tenths, we're good. Second one, haven't figured it out. That one's claimed, so this one's gotta be here. Second's clear, 1 has to be, hold on, we got this. Green out that, 1 has to be here, which means that has to be here. How'd we do, under a minute? It took 2 minutes? I might not be able to get under a minute for some of these. Let's get this one under 3, if we can. Oh, no zeros, wow. Okay, makes things interesting. Treeless areas. Yeah, so let's clear out the treeless areas. That's treeless, okay. And this. Okay, 1, can't jump the gun on that one. Are there back-to-back blacks anywhere? Two, no. 1 has to be here or here, this tree. So the 10 has to be here or here. This tree has to be here. Yeah, so this one right here might help. Where's the 1? This one or this one? We'll get to that. 3. This has to be 1. That has to be the second one. So there has to be a tent here, here. There has to be a tent here no matter what. Because there are 3 in this row. 1, gray it out, and green out the area around the tent. 3, 1 could be here or there. So we know this has to be one of the 3 tents. We know that. 1, done. Green out the area around the tent. 2, second one could be one of those 2. 1, claimed. Claimed. So this one has to be here. Claim it. Okay, so that helps. 3, third one goes here. Claim it. This tent. Second tent. We'll get to that. Tents can't be adjacent to each other. Green out the areas around all the tents, just to make sure. 1. We'll get to that. 2 tents. This has to be one of them in this row. Green out the area around it. Second has to be in this column here. Claimed. Green out the rest. 1 has to be there. Green out the area. 1 has to be here. Green out the area. 2 has to be here. Green out the area. 1 has to be there. That's under 3 minutes. Yes, it was. All right. We're doing all right. So we'll probably get all of these into the 2-minute range if we can help it. Okay, treeless areas. Any more treeless areas? That one. Yeah, it's treeless, okay. Can we get 2? Some of these areas are treeless, so clear them out. 2. 1 goes here no matter what. Claim it. So green out the rest of the areas around the tree. Actually, no, green out the area around the tent. 1 in this column. Clean it. 2. Can't jump the gun on that one. 2 blacks in this column. Green out the areas around them. 1. We'll get to that. 3. We'll get to that. 1 in this row. Green it. 2 in this row, to the second one. 1 in this column, no matter what. Green the rest. 1 in this row. 1, we'll get to that. 1 here, must be here. Okay, so that, claim that. 1 here, it's gotta be here. Claim it. 1 in this row, green it. 1 in that column, it's gonna be 1 in this row. Claim it. 1 in this row, claim it. 3 here, green it out. Done. Under 2 minutes, yep. 90 seconds. 90 seconds, so we'll get this one under 3. We'll cut this one in half. We'll get this one. We'll do this one under 3. I barely remember these levels, so this is a perfectly reasonable speed run, I think. 1. Treeless areas. Yeah, get those treeless areas. And a couple more. We're good. That's good. Okay, that's a couple more treeless areas. There we go. 1 in this row. We'll get to that. Back-to-back blacks. 2. No. 2 in this row. That has to be one of them. Green out the area. The second tent's over there somewhere. And that's that cluster of 2. So green out all the areas around the tent. 2. That can be the second one. Claim this one. That's for that tree. So this tree. Yeah, there has to be a tent in this row or in this column. Claim it. Second one, we'll get to that one. That's greened out. Green out the area around the tent. 1 in this row, we'll get to that. It's either this tree or this tree. 2 in this column. Green out the area around them, we're good. Claim that one. The top one. You gotta claim the top one. And this one gets that. So this one could be, the second one in this row is here. Green the rest out. 1 in that, 1 in this column. The second one has to be here. So we got a link. This tree must be here. Link it. This tent must be here. Link it. 2 in this column. And that one. All right. Got to double check the number of tents in that column. Almost 2 minutes. Hey, last speed run. Let's go. We might go back to the beginning if we have to. So we can get these. We'll do some cleanup at the end of this video. No zeros. Okay, treeless areas. Got to do those first. The other treeless areas. That's almost all of them. 1, any double blacks. 2, there's got to be a 10 here no matter what. Green out the area around it. Okay, so the second 10 in this column is up here. 1's got to be here. Green out the rest. Claim that tree. We'll get to that later. Don't know who gets that. Actually, it's got to be this dude. So this dude gets a tree. Gets a 10 here. Claim it. 1 in this column. Green it out. 2 in this column. Maybe a second one over here. Claim it. Claim it. 1 in this row. Green it out. This tent's gotta be here. Claim it. Green out the column. Nothing else in here. Green out the area around the tent. 2. That's gotta be one of the 2. Green out the rest. Wait, did I miss one? Crap, I jumped the gun. Redo the level. Redo the level. Alright. Treeless areas. We got the treeless areas, right? 2 in this column. Green the rest. Claim it. 1 in this column. 1 in this row. Excuse me, I screwed that one up. Oh, undo. Okay, we'll get to that later. 2. 1 here, gotta be here. Someone's gotta claim that. We'll get to that. That's green out the area around it. 1, 2. Someone's got to claim that. That's the tent. Gotta be that one. So this is the second one. Green out the rest. Claim it. 2 in this column. Claim it. 1 in that row. 1 in that column, excuse me. 2 here and here. Claim that one and that one. Green out the rest. Around the tent. 1, gotta be here. Green out the rest. Claim it. 2, we'll get to that. No other tents around this tree. This tree already has a tent. 2, green. 1 has to be here. Claimed. 2, that has to be it. The 1 has to be here or here. 2 there. That's the second one. 2.5 minutes. Yeah, just over 2. See how we do. Let's see if we can get this one under 2 minutes. Okay, treeless areas. One, no. We good? We got 1 here somewhere. 1's got to be here or here. Let's see if we have a double. Do we have a double black here somewhere? Is there a double black around here? Yeah, like this is one of them. Green out the rest of the area. Okay, second one's got to be here somewhere. Green out the rest. Claim it. Let's see, 2, 3. 3 in this row. That's got to be one of them. Green out the rest. Which tree is that? 1 in this row. Green out the rest. That's claimed. 2, gotta be these 2. Claim that one and that one. So green out that area. Gotta be 1 in this row. Claim it. 3. Can't be there. Yeah, green out the area around the tent. That tree already has a... Yeah, that tree's already claimed its tent. 1. So can't narrow it down. 3, 1, 2, one of those. 1. Can't be here, so it's gotta be here. Claimed. Green out the area around it. 2, gotta be here. Claim it. 1, 2, that's the second one. Claimed. 1. Got it. How'd we do? Under 2 minutes. Woo! Okay, that's kind of close though. That might be all we can do. I'm not sure we can get these under 2. We can try, but it's not gonna make a huge difference, I don't think. All right, we did it. I think we did good enough. See if we can get this one under 50. I doubt it. Let's see what we got. The treeless area. Two. No, we can't do that one yet. 3. 1, 2. Right. 2, 3. Green out the area. 1. Green. 2. Don't know. 2. Don't know. We greened out the area. We did. Claimed. Claimed. They need a tree here. Claimed. Second tree. Can't go here. Green out the area around it. Second one has to be one of those. Second one has to be that. Nope. Undo that. Second one can't be here. It's there. Claim it. 2 here. Green that one out. Second one has to be one of these. That has to be it. One up here has to go here. How we do? Got it in around a minute. I was trying to get it under 50. I don't know what I did wrong there, so we're done. Okay. So we'll back out. That is... We'll go back to the main menu. Tents and Trees, the demo that I played offline. on the Nintendo Switch. I don't know how much the final game can't cost more than $20. It's got, I bet it's like 10. And they have daily packs if you're into that, I suppose. Where's the options? Yep, version 1.0 is part of the demo. This was recorded with my Skull Candy earbuds into the audio splitter, into the J5 Create USB-C capture device, into my quad-core laptop. Capturing on the Windows 10 camera app at 60 frames a second. We're going to cut to 30 because duh. I guess I could cut to 25 and do a PAL encoding. Well, just for funsies, I'll see what happens if I make it 25 frames a second. I don't know if I'm going to lose that much, but we'll see what happens. I don't know if I'm going to lose that. I don't know if the file size is going to be that much smaller, but we'll have a little bit of fun with it. This game is meh. It might get better. It's Picross, but it seems to be a easier version of Picross. We'll see how it goes. Really? No. If it were included as a humble bundle, I'd probably buy it. So I guess there's that. Other than that, nah, can't imagine buying this game. But for a demo, it'll keep you busy on a bus or a plane for about an hour. You can speedrun it if you want. So there's that. I played the Round Guard demo for free, but it requires an internet connection. So there's a bunch of Picross games you can play for free, and I would argue they have more content than this does. So this is a nice demo, but I would just get one of the Picross variants that are available on the platform. Especially, like I said, the free ones are around here. In fact, I can just show you a couple of these. If you want to play a Picross-like game, I just have at least 3 demos that I downloaded for free that you can play offline, like Picross S8. These are all free. I'm playing them. I can play them offline if I want. Picross X, Picross S Master System and Genesis Edition. It's actually pretty good. So yeah, if you want Picross, there are lots of free variants on 3 of them on the Switch right now for free. Well, maybe not now, but I downloaded them earlier in 2023. Maybe they're still available. I would not be shocked if there was a offline Picross variant that was still out there. We'll see how it goes. I guess I'll let the music play us out. I mean, sure, we can let the music play us out.